Just about off and running inside of Verizon Center this Tuesday night with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Second and final regular season meeting between the Caps and the Calgary Flames. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin upstairs. Al Koken is your ringside reporter. Referees tonight, Dan O'Halloran. Not waving to family, but just checking the end zone goal judges, or the lights at least. Along with Mark Lemelin, Tim Nowak and Pierre Rasico will have the lines. Washington 10 days ago, a 3-1 decision over the visiting Flames tonight. Braden Holtby back between the pipes for the Capitals. Steers it for Nicholas Backstrom. Played along to 20-year-old winger Tom Wilson. The Backstrom wrister dealt with by Jonas Hiller in the cage for Calgary. It was Kari Ramo who took the loss 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and Hiller's running hot, Joe. 5-0-1 in his last 6 starts. Caps are going to have to get traffic, bodies, sticks, legs, you name it, in front of this goaltender tonight.
Washington counter-punching through center with Wilson on the dump down. He was framed up there defensively by T.J. Brodie. Brodie and Giordano, high-scoring blue liners for this Calgary squad that comes into tonight's affair with a mark of 7-4-2. Pushing and shoving a 4-man quarrel. Quick trigger from Kuznetsov, padded away by Hiller. Brouwer through the seam. Niskanen waits, chips it below the goal line. Matt Niskanen in search of his first goal as a Cap. Cranks this one up, that was blocked down in front. Alzner wasting no time, cheating in from point position as it'll bounce past Niskanen back into the Capital defensive zone.
Yeah, Alzner was all the way down, just sort of a little bit of their own medicine, because you just talked about Calgary and a couple of their guys, Giordano, Brodie, guys like that jump into the play. A couple of good pinches right off the get-go by Alzner, number 27, keeping the pucks alive and creating a couple of shots on Hiller, their netminder.
Capitals will regroup at center. Nate Schmidt will dump it on down. There's Jonas Hiller, the 32-year-old native of Switzerland, in the cage for head coach Bob Hartley and the Flames tonight. Dennis Wideman, a former Cap, gets the attacking line. Wideman, who leads the NHL defenseman when it comes to goals, a centering pass, and Holtby makes the stop there on Byron. Craig Laughlin puts some details on this net-minding matchup.
Well, Hiller, we've talked about him already. He gets the nod. They were alternating there for a while, but then he says, you know what, I'm going to go to the hot hand. He's 5-2-1 goals against, under 2.938. Braden Holtby back between the pipes. He's looking to go above 500. Nice goals against at 2.51.
Josh Juris out there, 86 in white for the Flames, coming off of a 2-goal performance. Calgary picking up a win in Montreal in its last outing.
Yeah, really shellacked them. Montreal didn't play very well at all, and Calgary was awesome. They were all over Montreal. Subban and company had some off nights, and they took advantage.
Beagle, the Calgary native, goes right to the cooker, put it right through the paint as it bounced wide of the post. Juris, arm in arm there with Latta, back to the point. Carlson unloads. That was blocked by Ladislav Schmid. As Hiller dove out there to cover, I do believe the official lost sight of the puck, and he stopped play.
And pushing and shoving and cross-checking ensues in front of the net. Beagle, good net drive. Showed some good power going to the paint against Hiller. Starts with a slap shot, good block. Calgary blocks more shots than anyone. You're going to see a lot of that tonight. And there's that quick whistle, but here's that power move to the net. You need courage to make a play like that. You're being honed in on Juris, the defenseman, another forward. Good power move. They have to see that consistently from Jay Beagle.
Ladislav Schmid, a 28-year-old native of the Czech Republic, has a seat. Barry Trotz goes right back to his top line. Backstrom gets excused from the face-off dot. Tom Wilson wins it for Washington. Green scuttles to the middle and fires off the blocker and shoulder of Hiller. At center, Curtis Glencross bounced over his blade. Green artfully comes to his deep partner Orpik on the headman to Backstrom. Giordano draws a bead on him. Alex Ovechkin out there now. His next point pushes him #1 for Washington all time. Monahan towards the goal, wide of the cage. Sean Monahan, the 20-year-old second-year pro. This Calgary team has suffered some injuries since we last saw them. Monahan's pass for the captain, Giordano. Wrister on the way, patted down by Holtby, and he will cover. Let's see how he wows us tonight. Here's Craig's Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
It's all about a complete game. They've got to complete 60 minutes, 3 20-minute periods. They get ahead. They've got to keep adding to their lead, Joe. It's got to be a total team effort for Barry Trotz's club to get out of this little slide early on in the season, see what this team's made of. They've got the horses. They've got the power. Now just putting it together for 60 minutes, I think, is critical.
Flames win the offensive zone draw. Weidman towards the goal, ushered away by Holtby. Barry Trotz said we have to change the mindset of doing just enough. Capitals had the lead against Arizona, squandered a 3-1 advantage, ultimately losing that high-scoring affair 6-5. The Brouwer wrister that was spoiled by Russell. Speedy defender in the Calgary lineup. Centering pass, Kuznetsov was tripped up by Weidman, flailing the shot wide of the goal. Marcus Johansson corrals, spins away from Goudreau. Brouwer lurking behind the cage. Troy Brouwer on the hesitation. To the point for Niskanen, and it will escape back to center. 4 minutes deep, scoreless opening period. Shots on goal of 5-3 favor the Caps. Holtby will wander from his net. Start the breakout for Niskanen. Joel Ward is there. He was tracked down by Byron. And Holtby will not take any chances right there as we send you downstairs to Al Koken.
Well, Joe, with the possibility of Alex Ovechkin making some history tonight, we ask a little historical question. We want to find out from you on Twitter, who would be on your Mount Rushmore of all-time hockey greats? Get your responses in, hashtag Capitals Talk. And remember, there are 4 presidents on Mount Rushmore, so 4 choices, please.
4 choices, only 4. It's a tough one.
No, it's not. Come on.
It's not?
No,
well,
you can name 2 right off the get-go.
Of course, but you spark all of the debate. All of the debate begins. I think I know your 4, though.
You would know my 4. You know my 2 for sure.
I know the first 2. I'm not sure if I know your 4. That's going to be interesting. Hashtag Capitals Talk. Ward on the feed for Burakovsky. The teenager between the veterans on the wings, Chimera and Ward. Joel Ward, a 2-goal performance the last time these 2 teams tangled 2 weeks ago. Schmidt there for Washington, plays it on around for Carlson. We've crossed the 5-minute mark. Burakovsky drops it into the corner as Barry Trotz wants a line change for the homestanding Capitals. After tonight, they'll make their way to Chicago for a showdown with the Blackhawks on Friday. These Flames are in the midst of a lengthy road swing.
Yeah, the 5-game trip, and they really wanted to get off on the right foot. And Hartley says we got to be above 500 before we go back home. Then they got a pretty decent homestand, but they really want to get some wins. You know, they have the Caps, they have the Canes, they have Florida, Tampa. You know, they have teams that they want to beat here on this 5-game road trip.
Offside against Washington. Lance Boma went heavily to the boards. Just shy of the 6-minute mark.
He's looking around, and what freight train just hit me? You see everybody in the background. Here he comes right there. He steps out of the way, and he actually rams the boards himself. Good play by Michael Latta, getting out of the way of this heavy check. And he's probably one of the heavier hitters on this team. Just about goes right over into the bench. That's going to smart right in his midsection.
Last time we saw Lance Boma, he had the full cage going. Back to the visor now. Boma, who scored at Montreal on Sunday. Fans are being treated to Lance's miscue, and you can see he shares a chuckle with his teammates. Exactly the kind of player that Braden Holtby tells us that Lance Boma was when they worked together during their youth hockey days.
And he's really improved as a player. You know, last year playing for Hartley really improved his overall game. I mean, he was awarded the most improved player on the Calgary Flames last season.
The Ovechkin snapshot gobbled up by Jonas Hiller. 6 minutes, 1 second in. Normally in hockey, you're very precise. You're accurate. You're dead on. And sometimes you miss on CSN. C left to right. Capitals, California Golden Seals? Wow, you don't see that every day. No score, Caps and Flames. Star Trek presented by Toyota. Locker 2 players with plenty of offensive pizzazz.
Yeah, and both different in size. Johnny Gaudreau, a mighty might, 8 points plus 7, leads his team in 12 games. Was under the weather today, didn't practice this morning, and it was a game time decision for him to play. And there's the big fella, Alex Ovechkin. Lots of points, lots of goals, looking to get into the record book once again here tonight in Washington.
9 career games against Calgary. Ovechkin has 8 tallies. Giordano gloves this one back to center. Even in full strength 5-on-5, neither team has had a power play in the early going. Shots on goal are 6-4 in favor of the Caps. Jones hops to the inside. Pass back to point position will escape Brody. David Jones did not play against Washington in the meeting 2 weeks ago. He was injured at the time. Currently, these Flames are banged up. Joe Colborne, Mike Ferland, Michael Backlund, Matt Stajan, on, and Mason Raymond to boot, all on the injured list.
Yeah, so they got a lot of youth injected into their lineup. Maybe that was one of the reasons Montreal looked at their lineup and said, you know what, this is not the same team they had before, and took them a little lightly. This is a young group of guys for Bob Hartley that believe in his system, and they play a hard game.
When we spoke with him a couple weeks ago, he seemed to be in a really good place with his team.
Yeah, I think he is. I think he's got them to buy in. He's in his final year of his deal, and he's done a heck of a job. You know, the president is Brian Burke. I'm sure they're going to re-up the job he has done with the Calgary Flames.
Niskanen whistles this one in from center all the way around to Weidman. Gaudreau poised to take it. Did not field that pass. Gaudreau on a nice clip. He's got points in 3 straight games. Assist totals mounting rather quickly for him. Electrifying little winger.
Yeah, he can fly. He likes to have big bursts of speed and try to beat 2 defenders at the same time. He's got an excellent set of mitts and feet.
Kuznetsov powers in with a little push through. He was poke checked by Russell. Hiller didn't clamp onto it. Brouwer trying to kick the puck to the front. No sale. Weidman on the hand-to-head back through center. The dump down through Hoodler. Number 60 is Marcus Granlund. He's the brother of Michael, who works for the Minnesota Wild. He too on a mini point scoring streak since being reassigned from the AHL. Alzner gets the center line. He'll send it hard around. Better than 300 consecutive games for Carl Alzner and John Carlson. Snapshot coming, blocked. Schmidt getting in the way there. The chase to the corner, a hard hit delivered. Setaguchi railing John Carlson.
Yeah, Setaguchi was a healthy scratch the last time these two teams met, trying to rekindle his career. Impressive numbers for Setaguchi when he was playing with Jumbo Joe and company out in San Jose.
Burakovsky out there again with Ward and Chimera. Andre's minutes were down a bit. Ward on a steal to the front. Green closing, zips it high. Chimera tracks down the rebound. Burakovsky lets this one go. That's shouldered away by Jonas Hiller. Hiller's save percentage numbers in the last couple of weeks, just dynamite. As the Flames will roll back through center, Engelland sends it out there wide for Boma. His backhander came right through the crease. Bolig twists it on around. Green lost his footing. Puck kept alive by Russell. Switch it up. The blast from Weidman knocked down. Weidman gets a chance to reload. He'll choose Russell. That wrister didn't get through. Rebound. They score at point-blank range. Lance Boma.
Well, he ran into his bench and just about catapulted into his team earlier on as a hit on Michael Latta went awry. And here he gets a lucky bounce in front also. 3rd goal of the season, now has 9 in his career. That puck hit the chest in front of 2 players. Here comes the shot, and there it is bouncing around. You notice Greeny, he can't find it. Everyone's looking where the puck is. The only guy that finds it is Boma right there, right through the legs of Mike Green and right past the right pad of Hopi. On our Jeep net cam, they get a nice bounce to go their way. Boma, jolly on the spot. 1-0 Calgary.
Boma played 78 games a season ago in the NHL. That's a career best for this 5th-year pro. You said he's got 3 goals already. He only had 5 all of last season. Liam O'Brien is back in the Washington lineup. O'Brien there, 87 in the red, working with Michael Latta and Jay Beagle. Calgary on the board, the 9:09 mark. John Carlson sends it around. Goudreau will reverse the flow. This Calgary team's awfully good, too, by the way, when they get on the board first. Down the wing, the rip-off made there by Carlson. He took it from Goudreau. Brooks Orpik, steady as she goes through center. Latta on the dump down. Skips it wide of Jonas Hiller. Gets there first, does Latta to the slot. It bounced right on through. Latta turns and fires. That was rejected by Ladislav Schmid.
He's had a good start to his game. Good stick work in front. Some good blocks by Schmid, their defenseman.
Capitals in the middle of a line change. Wilson and Ovechkin out there. Backstrom soon to join them. Wilson off of a goal and an assist performance to the point. Ovechkin fired. Score! Backstrom reacting in front, pointing at Ovechkin. Potentially the inevitable has arrived. We will see.
Well, any way you cut it, Alex is in the record books. He's going to get the primary assist from up here. It looked like Backstrom had the deflection in front of the net. Very similar to the goal that Wilson got the other night. Peter Bondra in the house along with Ted Leonsis looking on and clapping for this great achievement. 826 career point. He's a franchise record holder all on this play. Great rotation by Willie. The shot, and there's a deflection from high to low. 5-hole she goes. Backstrom the goal. Alex Ovechkin into the history books.
Nicholas Backstrom earlier today said it didn't surprise him at all that Alex has recorded this many points so quickly. He's so dynamic. As the Flames look to respond with a long stretch to the corner boards heavily. Jones to the point. Good work there, Giordano. Poke check by Wilson. Alex Ovechkin on top of the Capitals point scoring list. Fans waiting to hear if it's through the assist or goal variety. In-house, they're going to credit Backstrom with a deflection. He's scored in both games against the Flames this season. Ovechkin's next record to shoot for, Peter Bondra's all-time goal-scoring list. Washington quickly responding after the Boma tally, scoring 109 after it. Monahan flails one towards the cage. Hard hitting there. Green jams it ahead. Brouwer sends it away. As Kuznetsov sails it right to the blocker pad and glove of Hillis.
Yeah, you know, it was that line that scored the goal, but it was the other line that came out, the so-called fourth line that created havoc in the Flames zone that allowed a line change and for them to keep the heat up. It's so important. It just about seems every time the Capitals are getting scored on that fourth line gets sent out by Barry Trotz. Something like a simplifying the game type memo. Get the puck in, forecheck, be physical. They did that and had direct result leading to that goal.
Joel Ward drifts to the corner, leaves for Burakovsky. The centering pass does not click with Chimera. Skipping back through center, Bolig. Tough customer, former Blackhawk property. Bouncing Carlson to the boards. John wins the battle, sends away Burakovsky. On the delay against Schmid. Burakovsky doesn't penalty kill, so his minutes were down on Sunday. There were a number of draws that required right-handed centers in the D zone, but Barry Trotz said there was a little bit too much drift in his play. Didn't like Arizona's fourth goal in particular.
He got caught on the outside rather than being on the inside to prevent that short side shot from Gagne.
Moving right along without a whistle here. 1-1. Calgary and Washington. Liam O'Brien rammed by Schmid. Latta comes to help. Good touch pass inside for Beagle. So the other thing the coach wanted was more of a cycle game, more interior play. Seeing the cycle now. Latta twists and turns. Pinned to the boards by Juris. Beagle Caught there by England. Good defensive work by Calgary, but they're not out yet.
Well, that's the type of game you expect from these three guys. They know how to simplify. It's not reinventing.
Ovechkin walks in and fires a glove save for Jonas Hiller. 1-1 in Washington. 3 cheers. Nicklas Backstrom and Alex Ovechkin. He's number 1 all-time in points. Move over, Peter. Gracious Peter Bondra.
They've just paid tribute to Alex Ovechkin as the all-time leading point scorer here in Washington. The crowd acknowledges it. I asked you, Todd Reardon, it's great to see that milestone, but it really flipped this game around, didn't it?
Yeah, certainly. We needed a response after their first goal, and we certainly got it from that line. So, real big goal for us there. Not only for Ovi, for our team tonight, but in his career. That's awesome.
All right, we appreciate Todd Reardon joining us with the Legal Seafoods Bite of the Night.
Gentlemen, thank you as we press on in this first period. Lance Boma's third of the season, 9:09. Nicklas Backstrom's third of the season, 10:18. Ovechkin and Wilson getting credited with the assists. We are level at 1, and Alex Ovechkin is the all-time scoring king here in Washington. This evening's Cold Hard Fact brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
It's all about the last time the Caps lost 4 straight games in regulation and allowed at least 4 goals in each game was March of 07. They were outscored 17-9 by Buffalo, Carolina, Montreal, and Pittsburgh during that skid.
Long time since we've seen a skid like that. Washington, as a result, tumbles to 4-5-2 in their battle with Calgary. These Flames staying on the road after tonight. They'll be in Tampa Bay on Thursday. And all the while, the Lightning have been idle since then, since they took a victory down from Washington, in fact, in their own barn. Brody swings it on for Giordano. That was an ill-advised pass. Short side off the interior of that pipe and deflecting out of play.
Alex Ovechkin and the boys have ramped it up. Good D, good O. He brings it all. He's got a great combination. Look at the hustle, the hack and the turn and staying with it. Then gets up. Spinorama style in the corner, but it's all hunting the puck. All thing that the coaching staff wants their players to do, leading to a jam play in front of the net, just chipped up and over. Hard work, his heart rate's going. Way to go, Alex. Another good start to this game.
Ovechkin told us earlier today that his team kept it very simple in the game against Calgary 2 weeks ago. Played with patience, and they were rewarded for it. Grade 8 looking out from the players' bench. Yevgeny Kuznetsov did not control that draw. It was stolen by Yuri Hudler. Hudler on the send-in for Goudreau. Goudreau this way. Wideman knocked down, rebound loose, and it just squirts wide with a dangerous Glenn Cross there on the doorstep. Goudreau towards the front, deflected, and Holtby has it at his knees.
This is a team that really generates a lot by sticks in front, bodies, nothing fancy about their style. This guy's fancy. Hudler is a fancy Dan, as is Goudreau, but they still get to those dirty areas. You look at Johnny Hockey Goudreau, 104th pick overall. How about his numbers at Boston College, Dobie? 80 points in 40 games.
That'll do.
And of course you're going to win the Hobie if you do that.
36 goals in 40 games. Baby-faced 21-year-old winger.
Doesn't even use a full-size stick. Intermediate stick, not the NHL style.
Not yet.
What, he's still growing?
He's waiting for a growth spurt.
Okay.
Some of us are. Some of us still are. Less than 5 minutes to go in this opening period. 1-1 Boma for the Flames. Backstrom for the Caps. If you're just tuning in, Alex Ovechkin picking up an assist and setting another record here in D.C. We'll get you back for the conclusion of the first in just a few moments on CSN. Capitals fans having fun watching Alex Ovechkin make history. 1-1 against Calgary. Caps insider Chuck Gormley had the opportunity to chat recently with Peter Bondra.
That's right. Peter was telling me on his way into the game that he recalls when he was a member of the Atlanta Thrashers. He's not that old. When he was a member of the Atlanta Thrashers, he remembers facing Alex Ovechkin and thinking, this guy is definitely going to break my records. he thought it would actually happen sooner than it has. But I'll tell you, Alex Ovechkin, a big night for him. And Peter Bondra told me that if the Caps win, he will go into the locker room and shake hands with the Capitals captain. If they lose, he's going to stay away.
Can read all about it with Chuck Gormley at CSNWashington.com. Offside Calgary on the rush. Peter Bondra in conversation there with Ted Leonsis. Alex Ovechkin and the Caps. Alex said this morning it'd be great. Sure, it's a personal milestone. It's a wonderful accomplishment, but it won't matter. What matters to him tonight is the 2 points in the win column. Great producers on ice. Fine gentlemen off. As we enjoy Caps hockey on Comcast Sportsnet. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin with you. Al Koken is your ringside reporter. Caps losers of 4 straight, 5 of the last 6, hoping to snap out of that against the team they last beat, in fact, these Calgary Flames. Green, the Calgary native, poke check, and at the line, Backstrom didn't get there in time. It is offside against Washington. Locker, go back to 2003. April, I do believe. Peter Bondra breaks Mike Gartner's record.
Last game of the season against the pesky Pens. Here he is winding the net. Finds an open net with a big crowd in front. Waves to everybody. Yeah, I got the tie now. I want to get ahead of Mike Gartner. And it's going to be an empty net goal. That was a 5-3 win for the Caps. Peter Bondra jumped past Mike Gartner, who's in the rafters here, and number 12's not far away.
Alsner will send it in as we continue first period play tonight. Election day. Very busy for news departments around the
Did you vote today?
DC area. Civic duty. Civic duty done.
How'd you have time to do that?
Well, you know.
Okay.
You make time. Get a little help. Figure it out. Weidman with a wrister that goes wide of the cage. Dennis had the lone goal for Calgary in that 3-1 loss to Washington. It was a power play strike. Weidman off to a nice goal-scoring pace.
Yeah, he's got 5 goals already. Leads the team in goals. Last year he played 46 games and had 4 as his total at the end of the season.
Russell finagles into the offensive end. Setaguchi's there. He's pinned by Liam O'Brien. Beagle run to the ditch. 5-on-5 play continues. Bob Hartley in the middle of a line change. Ow. Chris Russell just went for a line change, and the way he did it hurt me.
And he did it because he thought he was going to get caught for too many men on the ice. So he did anything to get off the ice there.
Oh, it was a groin injury waiting to happen. Beagle twists it
They've
on
had
for
problems
Latta.
at their bench, haven't they?
I guess so. Latta loops it ahead. The hand pass is legal in the D zone. Back come the Flames. Not going very far as O'Brien will fling in. Healthy scratches tonight for Washington. Jack Hillen on the defense core. Eric Fair up front. Caps still missing Brooks Laich, Aaron Volpatti, John Erskine, and Dmitry Orlov. And there's hope that Laich will be ready for this weekend. A Friday, Saturday back-to-back as Wilson tries to stuff this one. It came right through the paint. Brooks tells us there's still a little discomfort in that shoulder. Not able to take a full slap shot yet. Glenn Cross will send it in. Laich was able to lift some weights on Sunday. Planned on doing so again today as this puck winds up on the Washington bench. The 2015 Bridgestone NHL Winter Classic. It comes up January 1, 2015, Nats Park. For more information on how to guarantee access to tickets to the game, call 202-266-CAPS or visit WashingtonCaps.com. Get a little Winter Classic primer on Friday from United Center.
A lot of nice Winter Classic gear already on sale. Real nice looking stuff. OV and the boys trying to get this win so they can go to the Windy City with some momentum.
Was that a hint for an early Christmas gift?
Yes, it was.
Russell sprints back and plays it to the wing. On through. Granlund. The whistle comes here.
Yeah, the Hawks have been struggling a little bit, Joe B. You know, so much so that they're putting a lot of their guns on one line. I saw today that Taves and Kane are going to be put together by Coach Q tonight.
Kane had been playing quite a lot on a line with Patrick Sharp. Taves is usually running with Marian Hossa. We'll see how it shakes out when Washington invades United Center on Friday. Between now and then, plenty of heavy lifting to do against the Flames. Calgary in the midst of a line change. Niskanen rips it ahead off of Backstrom. And Wideman will clear on down with enough pace to be icing. Apparently these two teams don't want the first period to end.
And they want to make sure that they continue to play 5-on-5. You don't want to get into penalty trouble. Either of these teams do not. He thought that was a problem last game to Barry Trotz. Too many penalties, too many turnovers. For Bob Hartley's team, he doesn't want to face off against Alex Ovechkin and company on the power play. He too would rather play 5-on-5 and see who wins this match.
80 seconds away from Lattice's intermission live on a regroup for Mike Green through center. Brooks Orpik looks ahead. San Francisco, California native finds Jason Chimera, who hails from Edmonton. Burakovsky, another slick Swede in Washington's lineup. Green fires. That was booted away. Up top by Jones and Glencross. Chimera lifts that pass back for Green. His drive wide of Hiller. Puck deflected out of play. It went off of Orpik. The faceoff will come to neutral ice.
Well, I thought it stays in.
Looked like a clearing attempt that went off of Orpik. So if it goes off of the Caps on a clear.
True. Good pinch by Orpik, though. Good stick getting it right down on the ice to prevent that puck from getting out of the zone.
You just saw Burakovsky's numbers, points in 7 of his first 11 games as a pro. Niskanen sharply stepping in the way of that outlet. Alsner creeping there with Boma. Boma the goal scorer for the Flames. Backstrom for Washington. It's 1-1 with 30 seconds to play in the first. Backstrom's tally assisted by Alex Ovechkin. He passes Peter Bondra on the all-time point scoring list in DC. Niskanen on the reverse. Kuznetsov will snake his way through center. 14 seconds to operate for Johansson. To the front, looking for a tip-in try. Taken off the wall by Brouwer, met there by Jones. 5 seconds left. Carlson flails it right to the gloved hand of Hiller, and that's where this first period will end. 20 minutes complete. Lance Boma on a rebound in front. Nicholas Backstrom on the deflection of an Ovechkin wrist shot. And we are 1-1 after 20. Which sends us to Lattice's intermission live. Al Koken, Alan May, both of them in the building tonight. They'll join you momentarily. Highlights and stats from here in the booth. Locker, as always, to tell us straight. A dozen games going on in the NHL. History made in Washington. The Caps and the Flames are 1-1 after 20. As we send you now for Lattice's intermission live, beginning with Al Koken and Alan May. Honestly, Abe, he's done it. Alex Ovechkin is #1 all-time in Capitals points scoring with his assist on a Nicholas Backstrom goal in the opening period. We are 1-1 after 20 with the Calgary Flames. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken with you. Looking back through history in this 40th anniversary, not a bad goal-scoring defender here, Kevin Hatcher.
Love playing with the guy, big, tough, and a set of mitts like a small forward. He was huge, scored some huge goals for the Caps over the years. He had a bomb from the blue line, could pass the puck, skate it, and man, when it was called on, he could fight with the toughest guy. How about that young Alan May there? Look at the dew on the bench watching that goal by Kevin Hatcher. Nicely done, Hatch in his career here in Washington.
Kevin Hatcher would have just preceded my arrival like in 1994, but when you look at the numbers, your eyes bug out and you go, wow, those are numbers.
But why didn't he take a slash at the end of that career there? Come on, get over 1,000, 999 PIMs, 685 games, 3-time All-Star, U.S. Hockey Hall of Famer in 2010.
Off we go in period number 2. Lance Boma has the goal for Calgary. Backstrom on the board for the second time in as many games against these Flames. A 1-1 draw. Jones straightened up there. We see Mike Green teaming up with Brooks Orpik again to start the period. A long drive from Giordano that sizzled wide. So a shuffle of defense pairs for the Caps.
Yeah, but they remain left-right, and Mike Green gets moved up. He'll play with Orpik and Carlson. You know, you can say they're interchangeable parts. The big key is the Caps have 3 very good lefties and 3 very good righties, and it's just the tail of the game. And remember, in the first period, the first goal in front of the net was against Schmidt and Green, who had played together most of the season.
Jonas Hiller will clamp onto it in the nets for the Flames. Alex Ovechkin teaming up with Nicklas Backstrom and Tom Wilson tonight.
Yeah, and the press release, it was congratulations to Alex Ovechkin on this outstanding achievement of becoming the leading scorer in Washington Capitals history, said Wayne Gretzky. He's a tremendous talent with many great years and achievements ahead of him.
All of the acknowledgments starting to roll in. Peter Bondra quoted in a press release from the Caps. Peter Bondra in the building tonight.
I already texted him and I said, "You're still the man, Bonsai."
Gaudreau wanders into the offensive zone. The lead for Hoodler is just out of reach. Long drive, Russell, stopped by Holtby. All the Caps wanted to talk about this morning was not the historic Ovechkin point, but the 2 points potentially available for a win. A hungry hockey team in red. Niskanen on the lead feed. Brouwer was in ahead of the play, and this is offside. On the Toyota League leaderboard, no one has more points than the Grade 8 the last 10 seasons.
Yeah, take a look since 05-06. Ahead of Joe Thornton, Marty St. Louis, Sedin, that's Henrik, and Jerome McGinley, the former longtime Flame.
An Alex Ovechkin wrist shot deflected in by Nicklas Backstrom, piercing Jonas Hiller, and he has been so tough to beat in goal for Calgary. Save percentage numbers in the last couple of weeks around 95.
And the goals against the 1.3, Joby. That's not even 2 goals a game, so let's hope the Caps can get to him and get 2 or 3 here in the second and third period.
This one's deflected out of play, winds up about 4 rows in the spectators' seats. Andre Burakovsky drinking all of this in at the NHL level at the tender age of 19.
Yeah, just under 8 minutes last game. We talked about that. Also took a heavy hit last game by Brandon McMillan early on in that hockey game. You mentioned drift. It's just, you know, everyone wants every player now coming into the NHL to be so good on both sides of the puck. They talk about being creative offensively. And everyone ever says about young players, they've got to learn a way to play away from the puck to be a bona fide NHLer, and it's a work in progress for such a young, skilled guy like the Caps have in Burakovsky.
Even in full strength on ice, Calgary in the visiting white sweaters. Flames have possession of the puck. Bolig's pass was deflected. Juris ran into Carlson. Latta with good speed leans into this rush, dodges the open ice hit. Latta's pass, O'Brien to the goal mouth, stopped twice there by Hiller. The rebound's at the post. Dragged back behind the cage. Latta spins it on top. Schmidt for Latta. Nate Schmidt winds and drives. That was blocked by Boma. As O'Brien and Beagle were setting the screen in tandem.
I'm liking this line, the way they have performed in this hockey game.
Juris sprints to the loose puck. Flames have the biscuit. Boma is decked by Carlson. Bolig will dump it in, and Bob Hartley wants the line change.
And that was a tricky one. It ricocheted off 2 different guys, including Schmitty. At the end of that, it sort of knuckled towards Holtby, and he had to reach out with his left hand and the blocker to stop that one.
A few moments ago, Liam O'Brien locker hungry around the cage.
Yeah, and that's just guts. That's just getting there and doing that type of work. You know you're going to be slashed and hacked, and they're a little shot, but look at how he gets involved. He is just on the puck every time he's a couple of inches away. He takes away and does that old-fashioned story like Fred Shurey used to take. You know, take a straight line to the puck and arrive in ill humor. He does that every single shift.
O'Brien, you saw the graphic mention that. In tight, Ovechkin, backhander, kick save, rebound, dump wide. Liam O'Brien among the top 4 when it comes to hits among NHL rookies. Most penalized rookie, too, as Jones lets this one go. Follow-up chance. A fine stop there by Holtby. End-to-end Ovechkin on the go. Stick check by Giordano, one captain to the other.
And that's probably the matchup they wanted. They had that in Calgary when they first met, as we have an official down to the right in the right circle.
All of a sudden, Alex Ovechkin found himself wide open in front.
Yeah, just a chop pass there by Backstrom. He gets a deke around Giordano, a real nice play, and he had the empty net there. He had the goaltender beat. Just shot that one wide on the follow-up as he wipes out at the other end. Calgary a good chance, and look at Holtby just hold on enough right there before sliding out of position. If he goes another 6 inches, Joe, they've got their second goal. He held on tight with that pad.
Niskanen hammers that one wide of the cage. Brouwer has the puck for the Capitals. Brouwer, Johansson, Kuznetsov as a trio tonight. Troy Brouwer working the cycle away from Granlund. Kuznetsov leaning, staying strong on the stick. Niskanen waits for the screen to develop. His pass deflected out of play as we share time with Al Koken.
Well, Joe, you and Craig have been talking about the things that Barry Trotz has tried to been preaching lately. One of the things he says is we have to trust each other and play for each other. Wasn't Exhibit A what Alex Ovechkin did on the goal that had set the record? He was the guy who covered up for Carl Alsner, who's been pinching a lot to be involved in the offense in the cycle. But Alex Ovechkin quickly got to the point, and because of it, got that big goal and got the record away from Peter Bondra. Back up to you.
Al Barry saying you can't deviate from the game plan as Hiller is anchored to the post. He really thought the Caps stayed to the letter of the game plan in Calgary and expects them to do so again tonight. Holtby turning it back behind the goal for Niskanen, the Minnesota native on the lead for Ward. Further still to the speedy Chimera. Jason hits the brakes. Was dislodged from the puck by Russell. Niskanen has his head up. Burakovsky for Ward on the interchange. Russell's in the way again. Boma glides back through center. One hand on his stick. And the whistle comes here at the attacking line.
Yeah, good call by the linesman who had to get up on the boards there at their bench to make that call. But that is the correct call on the offside.
He almost disappeared, the poor linesman.
There you look at Carl's number, 5th overall pick in 07. Unlucky when you look at that plus minus at the end, -4. Got a couple assists. He too looking for his first of the season.
Michael Latta had won his first 4 draws of the night. Lost that one. Flames have possession of the puck. Getting their defense activated. It's Schmid. Former Edmonton Oiler property. His pass to the goal mouth answered by Carlson. Liam O'Brien didn't get it clear. He'll get a second chance and he'll get it out. Just past the 5-minute mark of the second period. And 1-1. Shots on goal are 15-14 Washington. Carlson off target for Beagle. It'll come the length of the pond. It's icing against the Capitals. Folks, we have McDonald's.
Here they go.
Whoops. That's England.
Yeah, and O'Brien. You knew it was going to go.
Uh-oh.
That is a heavyweight bout.
Oh, gosh.
That is just toe-to-toe. Say, let's go, boys. Let's bring it. There's no holding on. There's no nothing. That was a jackhammer fight by both those combatants, Joe B. Probably about 15 to 18 in a row for each of those guys.
God bless you, two. God bless you. God. The reason I say uh-oh is because England has a well-deserved reputation as a very good fighter.
Yeah, and he's
not that Liam can't hold his own.
Yeah, and he's been in and out of the lineup for Bob Hartley. You know, he's another guy that left Pittsburgh, just much like the 2 Caps defenders or Picking Company. And it all happened right on that icing call. They bumped shoulders. And O'Brien and Eglin, what a fight that was, toe-to-toe here at Verizon Center.
Yes, Liam is reviewing
yeah,
the pugilism on the board. He's already dropped the mitts with Brandon Prust of Montreal, Matt Hendricks in Edmonton, and now hard-nosed customer Derek Englund. It was on the tail end of an icing call. Barry Trotz is looking for an explanation. Referees tonight are Mark Lemelin and Dan O'Halloran.
and here's how it starts on the far side of the screen. There you see. They just dropped the gloves here, and they're going to talk to see who gets the extra minor, if there's going to be one or not. I think it should just be 5 and 5. I know Hartley's wanting a power play, but it should be 5 and 5, 5 minutes each for fighting, and we should have a face-off in Holtby's zone.
The officials done with their discussion. Liam has caught his breath.
Yeah, look at that stash. He's taking care of it.
Movember.
Yes, Men's
Movember.
Health.
Referee O'Halloran continues to discuss with each bench as we get back to the resumption of play. 5:15 into the second period. No scoring in this frame. Boma for the Flames. Backstrom for the Caps. Back in the first. Jones, rink wide on the money. Glenn Cross. His pass for Monahan was deflected. Latta will get it out. Wilson's on the run. Wilson picking up an assist on the Backstrom goal. The historic record breaker for Ovechkin with his assist as well as they work the cycle. There's Backstrom playing hide and seek with Brody. Ovechkin throws it back into the cycle. Backstrom is there. Brody's attached to him still. Ovechkin on the hop below the goal line. Passed it off the net to himself. Hiller made a wonderful save, and you can see it from the net cam. Alex Ovechkin
shot again
with plenty of agility, and then the tough stuff in front of the goal.
Yeah, a couple of punches thrown there too, Joby. We could have some penalties doled out here.
Two teams will separate. Wilson's visor is knocked askew as we head to commercial break here in the second period. Ovechkin looking to set one up. Wilson was dumped, and he didn't like it at all. St. Creek window of opportunity following Alex Ovechkin around.
Early shot for OV there, trying to go short side. The record-breaking assist to Backstrom, a net drive. Student and teacher on the bench. Another opportunity going around Giordano. He got one shot, the other one went wide. Just before we went to break, a Gretzky-ish play behind the net, using the back of the net to self-pass to him. Right back to him to set up Willie in the box.
Wilson and Giordano matching minors for roughing. These two teams are skating 4-on-4 with 13:40 to go in the second period. Russell scampers through center. He'll send it hard around. Juris is waiting for it. Orpik was waiting for him. Nicholas Backstrom. Ooh, a sturdy hit delivered by Juris, who played his collegiate hockey at Union. Ovechkin works in, fans on the snapshot, reclaims, zooms around Weidman. Grade 8 skating extremely well tonight. Orpik, Backstrom, Green, all sorts of room, right to the hoop, and he sent it wide.
Sort of got hacked, it looked like, at the end of that play, because he had that blocker side open as he went laterally to make that little deke in front. Unlucky for Mike Green.
Normally when Green gets that close, he's deadly. Brouwer slips back through center, finds Green again on the advance. He was stick checked by Green at the tail end of his line shift. Marcus Johansson jetting to the loose puck. Brody there to pick him up. Johansson wins the one-on-one battle. Still with it. And forced back to center by Hoodler. 4-on-4 for another half minute. John Carlson doesn't mind the open space. Johansson didn't get through the check. Schmid there to press him. Brouwer kept it alive. Niskanen off the defender cycle for Johansson. Granlund is there. You have a look at those two forwards. Johansson stopping and starting away from the pressure. Finally, the Flames should be able to relieve it. A high-scoring Brody tumbles it back into the Washington zone, and he needs a breather. Almost at the midway mark of regulation time in a 1-1 game.
Yeah, Willie out of the box now, 5-on-5. Still a lot of zone play, especially between the two blue lines between these two clubs.
Dennis Weidman will chase the puck down for Calgary. Chris Russell, an Alberta native in his own right. On through Glenn Cross and down. Braden Holtby sweeps it high on the glass, didn't get it clear. Chimera was in the way of that slap shot from Byron. Burakovsky's 2-on-2 the other direction. Burakovsky's pass behind Joel Ward. On the counter, this is Jones. Leaving to Glenn Cross. Rink wide for Juris. That was answered by Alzner. 16-14, Washington has the shots on goal lead. This Calgary squad has won its last 2. Washington in the midst of a 4-game losing skid. The assist leaders are presented by your local Hyundai dealers. Let them assist you in scoring the lowest prices on the hottest lineup in America. These boys get their assists in bunches.
Yeah, you take a look at Nick Backstrom, 27 times, 3 or more assists. He had 9 times now, 3 assists or more in one period. Crosby, 26, Sedin, Malkin, and Thornton. He's always up there. Whenever you look at Nick Backstrom graphically, or you look at Ovechkin graphically, they're up there with the greats that are active now in the National Hockey League.
Backstrom awaiting his next turn. 26-year-old Swede will turn 27 this month. Russell, fun to watch him skate. 4 in the white, can really wheel. Bollig to the corner, centering pass, and that's going to be gobbled up by Braden Holtby. Bollig is definitely a feisty sort. Latta, who has already danced a number of times this season, taken to the boards there by Boma.
You know things could erupt when the referee, after the play has even stopped, continues to blow his whistle. He knows there's some combustible fellas out there on the ice right now.
5 minutes or so ago, we saw a terrific fight between Liam O'Brien and Derek England. Jackhammer right hands exchanged time after time. Latta, who dropped the mitts with Arizona's B.J. Crombeen on Sunday night. Will draw now against Granlund. Michaels had a good evening at the face-off dot. Niskanen venturing back through center. Niskanen feeds. Latta fires. That's blocked. Russell was in the way. His pass ahead for Hudler off the toe of his blade turns out to be icing against Calgary. McDonald's trivia for you. Only 2 defensemen in history now, have led their team in goals in a single season. Can you name them? 2 in the entirety of NHL history. Mike Green, a 30-plus goal scorer back in the day, did not lead his team in goals that season. Just 2. See everybody going right away. Or Coffee, no.
Potvin.
Esposito with Coffee, 16 different Oilers, had 50 goals.
And with Potvin, you got the Boss Man and Trottier. And
This one had me going round and round and round.
I think I got one of them.
No, I think you got them both.
You think so?
Yeah, impressively. Jones works in.
I'll forget by the time the answer comes.
Too impressively. Brody this way. Giordano on the hold. Giordano on the backhand. He scores. Speaking of which,
That was a very sneaky move at the top of the paint, or at the top of the circle, just inside the blue line by Giordano, and that is one heck of a backhand that gets through a maze of bodies. Here it goes D to D, and watch that move right there. The Capitals' Wilson goes down to sort of block a shot. Right here, he thinks the shot's coming. Right now, instead, Giordano weaves his way through, moves laterally, and that is a sweet-looking backhand on our 84 Lumber slow-mo cam. Look at it find its way through 6 legs to beat Braden Holtby. It's 2-1 Flames here in the second.
Giordano with a hockey school backhand there.
Yeah.
Got his weight behind it. 10:20 the time of the tally. Calgary back on top. Ooh, dangerous pass. Deflected by Setaguchi. Orpik was there to funnel it back to center. Byron is in, but this is offside against Calgary. The Flames now with a goal from a defender in 10 of their last 11 games. Giordano, the latest to strike.
It's the Calgary Flames now by a 2-1 lead. Lane Lambert, what else do you need to see to get the momentum back on your side? You had it for such a good long time there.
Well, you know what? We had momentum, we had puck possession, but we didn't have a lot of traffic and a lot of shots. First period, we were better. Second period here, we haven't put a lot of pucks to the net. We haven't got a lot of traffic in front, and that's basically been the reason that we're not getting generating a lot of offense right now.
All right, Lane, we appreciate it. That's Lane Lambert and Illegal Seafood's Bite of the Night.
Coach Lambert resplendent in the black and white. At least I think it's black. Snapshot coming from Johansson. Whoa! Karam to score! Tied up at 2.
Good things happen when you shoot the puck, and that's sort of been the way Mojo's season has been. That's why he's scoring. Here he is just collecting it, shooting, ricochets off the defender, Schmid, and then the goalie gets turned around. The board's quick here, and there it is coming around. His pad is on it, but before it gets into the net over the goal line, he was thinking about grabbing it on our Jeep net cam. Watch his left pad kick that puck ahead of his stick and blocker, and Mojo has tied it up.
Marcus Johansson, 5th of the year, 43 seconds after Giordano gave Calgary the lead.
Who had the goal for us against New Jersey at the other end? Same bank off the wall. Was it Chimmer or
Joel
Warner?
Ward. Joel Ward.
Yeah. Fast boards.
Caromed in off of Corey Schneider. Latta waiting at the line, didn't wait long enough. Offside against Washington. We can revisit and play billiards with you.
Yeah, here's a nice overhead look, and there's the goalie, and he knows. He was thinking so much. He says, you know what, at top of my pad, I'm just going to grab it, and then his stick got ahead of his gloves, and it knocks it in, and Mojo is all smiles, and why wouldn't you be?
That one is yucky for Hiller, who's unbeaten in regulation in his last 6 decisions. 2-2 with 8:40 to go in our second period. Giordano forechecked by Beagle. Liam O'Brien on the hunt after Juris. Well-timed pinch in by Alsner. Beagle bats it down low. O'Brien on the hop. Juris with the interruption of the cycle. Well done there for the Flames, and Bowling will clear in wide of Braden Holtby. Holtby with 13 stops. Hiller with 15 at the other end in a 2-2 draw. Russell waiting at point position. Below the goal line, there's Boma. Corralled by Latta. Michael Latta for Washington using the glass. Didn't get it through Weidman, but the efforts of O'Brien will do so. Capitals in the middle of a line change. Russell hands it along, and Bowling will steer it wide of the cage. 5-on-5 play continues. We have not had a power play in this hockey game more than halfway through it. Brody bats it on around. Giordano with some troubles. Ovechkin, Backstrom, Wilson on ice. Carlson fires right to the chest. Hiller lost the handle there. Monahan around, but not out. Backstrom finds Ovechkin, drops it. Carlson pumps one off of Hiller. Rebound belongs to Ovechkin. Alex swivels from the sharp angle, stopped by the Flames netminder.
Yeah, trying to go short side shelf there, and Hiller's a big goaltender, kept that right shoulder up as we're going to have our first penalty and maybe a little brawl ensue here.
There was a huge hit on the boards.
Well, I think Alex was at the bottom of that. That's
True.
why the boys in red are coming for the support of their leader and captain.
Backstrom incensed with Glenn Cross. Wilson wrestling Giordano away from the pack.
He's a deterrent out there when you take liberties with Ovechkin and Backstrom. You know, Trotz likes that type of capability he brings to that top line. He plays tough, he plays physical, and he makes players honest. If they're going to get a shot on OV, you know 43 is going to be there.
Thought it was a great quote from Barry earlier today. He said one of the things that Wilson has to do is keep the flies off of Ovechkin and Backstrom.
Well, that's what he just did there. And that's why we have this little skirmish. But the initial call was on Calgary anyways. The Capitals should have their first power play. Here's OV going in. A good rock, and watch what happens. And he just throws him down. And that's Glenn Cross just giving him the left cup and throwing him to the ice. So Caps on the power play.
And I've heard you and Al Koken and Alan May talk about this team needing to stand up for one another. That's a great example of it there, because you don't often see Nicholas Backstrom that heated on ice. He was definitely in the face of Curtis Glencross.
The gang mentality they wanted to have at the start of the season, you see signs of that. And we've seen it all season long. It's about a team coming together, and when times are tough, that's often when you see a team gel, both on the ice and off the ice for this Caps team.
That's Craig Laughlin. I'm Joe Beninati. Al Koken is your rinkside reporter. This is the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Bob Hartley has brought his Calgary Flames to town. This is a 2-2 hockey game. A nod of encouragement to all the men and women in our technical crew for their efforts. Second and final meeting between these two. Washington had a 2-goal performance from Joel Ward 10 days ago at Scotiabank Saddledome, downing the Flames 3-1. Power play time for the Caps after the rough is assessed to Glenn Cross, and you see the power play numbers for Washington now second best on the circuit.
I think coming in, this was a Flames team that has been very good at not taking penalties. They had all of 5 penalties taken the last 3 games. And that's the way Hartley wants to play. He was fuming at the end of that. He wanted this to be even Steven, but his team has to penalty kill.
Third-year head coach here. Head coach of the Stanley Cup champion 2001 Avalanche. We know him for 4 years very fondly and closely in Atlanta. Flames will drive it all the way. It's a 2-2 hockey game. Washington skates 5-on-4. John Carlson begins the breakout. Burakovsky, beautiful moves. Fires, that's armed away by Hiller.
He's effortless when he gets ahead of steam, the Caps Burakovsky.
Neat when he catches that glide. Backdoor look, pad save Hiller as he stoned Niskanen.
Unreal play all around. The sneaking in Niskanen, Alex Ovechkin, and the pass, much like Nick Backskin from Burakovsky. Just great plays all around. And look at the effortless speed getting around one of their top Ds, Giordano. And with a right-handed goalie, it's hard to beat him short side with the blocker and everything else covering that area. It's easier to beat the glove side than the blocker side. And there, Hiller, another nice save.
It was a beauty on Niskanen. 65 seconds with which to work on the man advantage. 6:08 in period 2. Backstrom saucers this one ahead too strongly for Johansson. Weidman gets coordinated with Russell, puts it out off the meshing, and that's a delay of game call against the former Cap.
He tried to point for the deflection, and the referee had no part of it. So here comes the 5-on-3.
Calgary, number 6, 2 minutes, delay of game.
Referee Lemelin making the assessment on this.
Yeah, pretty easy call. Right up and over the glass, directly into the meshing here.
Capitals are going to take the timeout. Make sure they have fresh folks out there for a 5-on-3 that should last 56 seconds. A 2-2 hockey game. Capitals' next home game is Saturday after the visit to Chicago. Saturday, the 8th of November. The Carolina Hurricanes are in. Visit WashingtonCaps.com or call 800-745-3000 to purchase your tickets today.
They got off the schneid, right? A couple of back-to-back wins this weekend.
They scratched Alex Semin in both of those games.
Yep.
Tonight, Carolina squaring off with Columbus, and the Canes are still in a good groove. Justin Falk, the last man to strike, a 3-1 lead over the ailing Blue Jackets, who have been badly banged up in this season's first month. Chicago, north of the border in Montreal, Jonathan Taves last check had given the Blackhawks the lead. Florida and Boston were 1-1. Patrice Bergeron on the board for the black and gold. Philadelphia running away from Edmonton on home ice. Last check on top by 3.
Capitals had very little time, 5-on-3 this year, all of 10 seconds on their one opportunity. This is an extended time, close to a minute, that they got to hit pay dirt.
Good for you, Craig Laughlin. Carter Myers says you've done your homework.
Yes, I have.
Quick centering pass there for Ovechkin, who was jammed. Ovechkin feeds Ward. Ward, Brouwer, Backstrom in front, deflected away.
I still question if it's right or not, but I'm going with it.
Ovechkin pumps that one-timer block. Ovechkin steps, feeds for Backstrom, sharp angle. Nicholas waits. Saucer pass, split, score! Joel Ward gets credit. It wasn't clean, but it counts.
just what they needed. Finally, some puck luck. Or the hockey gods, as Trotz was talking about. Here it is down low, the bounce, and it's sort of a double whammy. Right pad, left pad, and squirts through, and Wardo says, thank you very much. Here's the sauce, the shot, and there you see that left pad actually kicking that puck through. The initial stop is made, and then he tries to go to the butterfly. It's kicked through. Caps have the lead here tonight.
Joel Ward has his 6th. He had a power play goal against Arizona. It's 3-2 for Washington. They're still a man up for another 80 seconds left in the delay of game minor to Weidman. This is Ward. Turning away from the pressure. Good work on the flank by Byron as he speeds down the flank. Green took care of him. Juris helping out. The centering pass for Byron. And he snapped that one high as Holtby challenged.
And their speedster out there, Byron and Juris, can really fly.
Kuznetsov puts the head and shoulder fake on Brody. Brody doesn't get it out. Ovechkin walks in and drives. That was muffled. Handed away by Hiller. Green in a power play point for another 45 seconds. Now Mike gives up the line and sends it cross rink. Ovechkin will send it hard around. Both teams changing special teams performers. Burakovsky's stacked up on the boards there, and Granlund will drive it back. 4.5 to go in period 2. Capitals have their first lead on the night. Johansson motors in. Marcus Johansson deals it on around. 20 seconds left in the minor to Weidman. Brouwer not able to hold that one in. It'll chase the Caps back into their own territory. John Carlson right up the gut. Backstrom beautifully ahead for Brouwer. Poke checked by Giordano. Claimed by Brody, and he'll drive it all the way. Weidman's back out of there, but the Caps did click on the 5-on-3. The power play goal for Joel Ward. We drift below 4 minutes to go in this middle frame. Johansson fires. That went wide. Big rebound all the way to point position. Niskanen, who's had several quality chances tonight. Beagle forcing the Flames back. Weidman, dangerous pass. This is an offside call, I do believe, against Washington. They put up a protest. Joel Ward's happy, though. Set up splendidly by Backstrom. Power play goal. All gather round. Caps have the lead on CSN. Thompson Creek with this window of opportunity focused on Joel Ward.
Here's his first against Calgary. He's hoping they move east next year. I don't think that's going to happen. There's one, there's two, and the Capitals win 3-1 in Calgary. And then here tonight, 5-on-3. And it takes a couple of bounces off the pads of the goaltender Hiller. Wardo will take it.
But here's the kicker in all of that. Prior to this season, he had never scored against Calgary.
Okay.
As Carlson will send it clear. We have 3:20 left in the second period. Penalty time up on the Washington side of the ledger. Man advantage for these Flames. Caps PK at the 20th mark in the NHL, 30 teams. Goudreau. Understand he's playing with a touch of the flu bug. Johnny gets the line. Monahan goes to the net. Weidman awaits the pass. Monahan, Setaguchi, Goudreau across the top. Russell and Weidman in back. As the puck pinballs to the corner, it's jammed out by John Carlson. The call was against Washington for too many men on the ice, being served by Tom Wilson.
And that's why we had all the complainers as we went to commercial, Joe, right at the Capitals bench.
Do the complainers wear zebra stripes?
Yes. They were yelling and screaming at the Caps, and the Caps didn't buy it, and we thought it could have been offside there. Didn't look like too many men. It was a very close call.
Oh, now I wonder. As Ward attempts to clear, Chimera does the work. 40 seconds left in that bench minor. Dennis Weidman, an all-star back in his days with the Caps, leaves it for the hard around from Hudler. That winds up out of play.
Yeah, zipped right off the glass and out for Hudler. When you look at points for them, he's going to be the guy that leads consistently among the forward ranks. Very crafty. Well, the Detroit Red Wings program for many, many years.
30-year-old Czech, just one goal in his last 10 games. Yuri Hudler now in his 12th season in North America. I always remember his first NHL game with Detroit. He got there in a rental car with Curtis Joseph driving.
Is that right?
That's the truth.
That's great.
Hurry up, kid, get dressed. Back through center. Hoodler on the wing for Jones. His pass to a point position. Brody keeps it. Giordano, who has tallied here in the second period. Man advantage 3 seconds. Giordano fires wide of Holtby. Rebounds on the meshing of the net for a moment. Carlson takes it off. Wilson's out of the box. No shots on the power play for Calgary. Hand pass will bring a play to a halt here. A face-off to come in the neutral zone.
Yeah, Beeks try to pick that up. It'll come right off the paw in the neutral zone. So therefore that hand pass, as you nailed it, Joe B. Quick line change for the Caps. Got to keep adding the offense here as you look at Beagle, 2 games away from hitting the 200 game mark in the NHL.
Jay, who turned 29 last month, has never scored against Calgary. Came pretty close, though, on a wraparound at Saddledome 10 days ago. I had picked him for a goal in that game, if you remember correctly.
And Bollig and Wilson tied up, and it should be Bollig heading off. They've been going at each other each shift, and in Bollig, not a smart penalty with $1:23 to go. He hooks Wilson. Watch Wilson, Joe. He's being asked probably to fight. Hey, let's go. And look at him just get that stick in the breadbasket. And it's an easy call for the official. Wilson draws the penalty. The Caps go to a late power play. Let's add another one to the score.
Just tuning in with us, it's 3-2 for Washington at Coach Hartley's expense. Ward and Johansson, the last 2 on the board. These power play stats are packaged by the UPS store. We went for the longest time without a power play in this game. Backstrom serves for Ovechkin and gets it right back. Offers to Johansson on that rotation play. On the wrong side for Green as the Flames will clear out. It's off the glass and out of play. No delay of game this time.
Pretty good play by TJ Brody. He knew that play was coming there and just got his stick back. Everything's about stick on the ice in this day and age. And Brody makes a nice redirect with his hockey stick to prevent that puck from going through. He's been a real good find for this hockey team, just rewarded with a 4-year deal or 5-year deal with Calgary. Him along with Giordano are really the backbone of their blue line.
Brody has an assist tonight, points in 4 straight. He's their ice time leader. Johansson feeds it up top for Green. This way to Ovechkin. Forced that pass, blocked down by Byron. Snapped on around and cleared in one fell swoop by Giordano. Final 44 seconds of period 2. Should the Capitals not convert here in the remaining time of the frame, they will have an abbreviated power play to start the third. Ovechkin chased by Juris. Johansson gets it in gear. Puts it out wide for Brouwer. Sent away once more by Giordano.
Yeah, good play by Giordano. The Caps having trouble with their entry against the penalty-killing unit for Calgary.
Backstrom on the backhand pass to Ovechkin. To the front. Nicholas made one more there. He was looking for a Johansson layup. 8 seconds to go in the period. Stuff attempt from Backstrom denied by Hiller. Backstrom has one more crack at it. As the siren sounds, ending period 2.
I liked it, Joe. Good, strong period for the Caps. Wardo and company answered the bell. They played their game plan to a T. They've just got to stick with it. I said one of the keys, play a 60-minute game. So far, so good with 40 in the books.
Capitals have battled back from a couple of 1-goal deficits. Lattice's Intermission Live is coming up. We expect Al Koken to have a guest with him. Highlights and stats from here in the booth. And Locker will tell us straight. 11 other games going on tonight. We've been fixated on the Capitals and the Flames. 3-2 after 2 in this Rock'em Sock'em contest. Now to Chick Hernandez and Brian Mitchell with the Sports Talk Live preview. Been a good hockey game inside of Verizon Center. Washington has a 3-2 lead this Tuesday night with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Before we start the third period, we want to revisit our Twitter question, hashtag Capitals Talk. Who would be on your Mount Rushmore of all-time hockey greats? You got to pick 4, and I'm telling you this will not be unanimous, although those are my 4.
And I had Orr, Howe, Gretzky, Lemieux. Exactly.
There's the rocket creeping in.
Absolutely. You have to have, he's in consideration.
Ooh, look at Kenny Dryden getting
like
into the mix.
Just about all the three are the same. Messier gets the nod. Nicely done.
Rocket Richard
Yeah.
again.
No goalies in the mix,
There's
Joby.
no love for Penguins out there in
Lundqvist.
Capland.
Lundqvist gets the nod.
Well, I saw an early Alex
And
Ovechkin.
Vezina. Yep.
Rocket, George Vezina. You had Vezina down on your
Yeah, I
list.
did.
Rocket Richard getting a little bit more of an
Could
edge
have
than Le
number
Magnifique.
4,
Which one?
Jean Beliveau.
Yeah, sure. Gretzky, oh, Guy Lafleur sneaks in there, but hard to put him in over Mario. Goalie love.
There
Goalie
you go.
love everywhere.
That's a pretty good list right there. Patrick Waugh, another goalie, gets on the list.
A lot of wins and a lot of money victories.
We could do this forever, couldn't we? You could just list guy after guy.
You and I both had the same 4. There's really not a unanimous foursome there, although when you probably total all the votes, Gretzky, Orr, Lemieux, and Howe, if your name is Mr. Hockey, nickname that is, you've got to be on the list. Away we go in the third period with a 3-2 Washington lead. The Caps trying to put an end to a 4-game losing skid. And in the process, stop a 2-game winning roll for Calgary. The Flames at 7-4-2. Washington at 4-5-2. Power play chance here for the Caps. Briefly, 17 seconds. Green to Backstrom. Nicholas waits. Johansson serves it inside for Brouwer. He was double teamed. Green outside Backstrom. Closing. Inside Brouwer had that blocked by Brody. As the Flames are back to even strength, Bolig exits the box. First minute of the third. NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Joe and Craig upstairs. Al Koken ringside for you. As we are enjoying the final regular season matchup between Washington and Calgary. Caps already with a 3-1 victory under their belt against the Flames. There are 11 games going on tonight. No score, Arizona. Winnipeg has a 2-goal cushion over Nashville. Florida and Boston are 1-1. Patrice Bergeron's on the board. Carolina, 2 better than homestanding Columbus. Dallas and LA in a Western skirmish. Vancouver and Colorado surprised to see the Avalanche at 3-5-5. Chicago is 2 better than Montreal. The Flames beat the Habs at Bell Center recently. Liam O'Brien chips one towards the front. Knocked aside. 5-on-5 play. This fourth line for Washington has dug in deep. Jack Hillen and Eric Fair, the healthy scratches tonight. Washington still minus Brooks Laich on the injured list. Carlson's drive was blunted. Aaron Volpatti's getting closer and closer to a return off of his neck injury. Carlson, good look. Latta fires. That was rejected. Goudreau drops it off as the Flames get back through center. Hoodler will dump it in.
Yeah, and they have no gas in the tank to go any farther than center because of that great shift by that line for the Caps. You know, when you're coming over center as a Flame, and if they're just going to dump it in, that means you've done a heck of a job in the offensive zone, tiring them out. It's hard to play defense, and that's where this game will be won this period, if the Caps can stay on that side of the ice.
You see the shots on goal total. 3-2 Washington has the lead overall. Let's revisit Locker's Voice on Value, presented by Morgan Franklin Consulting.
Well, 23 minutes or so to go, Joe B, and we'll probably be right on this one. Voice on Value is a complete 60. They got to put 60 minutes together. They've done that this season in games, and those are the games that you win. They need to do that here and finish off this hockey game.
Burakovsky bested on the draw by Monahan. Sean Monahan will clear in. Alzner was there to play. At the doorstep, Holtby clamps down on it with Glenn Cross looking for any loose change.
Yeah, he had a slow start to the season, did Glenn Cross, but he's playing much better of late. He's got 2 goals now. It took him a while to get on the score sheet. He's one of their leaders, undrafted guy, and here's the play behind the net. They just about get a good bounce. Good play there by the speedster, getting in there on the play and making things happen. And then you have things Jones and Curtis Glencross, veteran guys, trying to tie this game up as you look at his numbers so far.
Glenn Cross, twice a 20-goal scorer in the NHL. John Carlson's out there for Washington. Plays it along for Burakovsky. On the toe drag move, he'll drop to Chimera. Granlund there to straighten him up. Burakovsky pinched by Russell. Andre Burakovsky hits the brakes. Gets bracketed there on the outside. Chimera joins the cycle. Jason Chimera with a wrister that goes wide of the goal. 3 minutes into period 3. 3-2 for Washington. Chimera winds and drives. That's blocked. Setaguchi sacrificing the body there. Granlund's rubbed out by Carlson right in front of the Washington bench. Ward, who has the lead goal for the Caps, venturing in. Joel Ward spins, waits for the screen, then fires. That was blocked by Giordano. Flames and the visiting Whites. They'll continue their trek. They'll be in Tampa Bay Thursday. Stops in Florida and Carolina before the 5-game trip is through. Next up for Washington, a date with the Blackhawks in the Windy City Friday. We'll keep you company on Comcast Sportsnet. Ovechkin with a 2-point night so far, rolling one towards the cage. Alex, all-time #1 now in DC. That drive deflected, stopped by Hiller. He made a save on the rebound too, with Tom Wilson right there. Might as well start the debate. Who makes the best right wing, Locker, for Ovechkin and Backstrom? What type of player?
Well, I think you got to be physical, and I think you got to be the first guy mentality of getting in on the forecheck. You know, I think Browse is a good fit there. They have the same type of qualities as a Wilson and a Brouwer. They both are a little abrasive, and I think that's the type of guy you need with those two guys. You need that forechecking guy, the guy that's going to knock pucks away and get them to them.
Johansson works in. He's worked on that top line successfully last year with those two. Orpik towards the cage, knocked down and skated to safety. Jones on the work. Glenn Cross will play it back behind Braden Holtby with 15 stops. Braden had the victory over Calgary 10 days ago, made 20 saves in that win.
Yeah, you know, you look over the course of history in the NHL, you know, we're talking about Mount Rushmore and the 4 top players. You look at all the great lines, any of the ones that had nicknames, and one that comes to mind is, you know, Bossy, Trottier, and Gillies. You know, it was Gillies the guy that got them the puck all the time and why they were so successful.
Stop there for Holtby. Hadid shows us the road ahead for Washington.
Well, we'll head on the road Thursday, get into Chicago for a Friday night clash. Showdown with the Blackhawks. Saturday right back home against the resurging Hurricanes, the Blue Jackets, the Devs. And then we're at the Blues, and we got a little bit of a 3-game road trip, Joe, hitting St. Louis, hitting Colorado, hitting Phoenix.
A number of those games, folks, are CSN Plus, so please do check your local listings for those. As Beagle looks to get it out past the 5-minute mark of the third period. It's a 3-2 Washington lead, a 5-on-3 power play goal for the Caps. Joel Ward late in the second period. Washington had only one 2-man advantage goal last season.
It's an amazing 1 for 13. Didn't get those opportunities.
Face-off to come in the offensive zone for Calgary. A stalemate. Latta continues to have a hot hand at the face-off dot. Liam O'Brien reinserted back into the lineup. Get a whistle here. Offside the call. This from the promotions department. Stay up to date on your favorite team, folks. Download the new CSN Washington app today, featuring breaking news, instant analysis, scores, and now video. Get everything Capitals, Redskins, Wizards, DC United, and more right now on the new CSN Washington app. We focus on Byron and Burakovsky on the draw. Washington with possession. Carlson steps in and fires. That's eye high for Hiller, and he'll hang on.
Long range shot. Nothing fancy about his mask, because everyone talks about masks being so fancy in this day and age. Just got the logo on each side, Joe. Nothing fancy about that, but his stats are pretty darn fancy. Signed him to a new 2-year deal in the offseason, being a free agent at $9 million over 2.
Jonas was pretty simple when he worked with the Anaheim Ducks too, right?
Yeah,
remember that matte black?
Yeah.
Looked like one of Alex Ovechkin's old cars.
That's the style. Matt is in.
Latta on the backhand. I'll take your word for it. Michael Latta for Beagle. And then O'Brien absorbing a hit. As the puck ricochets for Juris, he'll go the other way quickly. Brody getting up into the rush. Orpik knew that was coming. As O'Brien scampers through center and gets flattened on the run.
Yeah, that looked like Juris on the back check.
Latta knifing in. Good move by Beagle. Turns the corner and tries to stuff. Hiller was down and waiting for him. Just shy of the 7-minute mark. No scoring in this third period. 3-2 for Washington. This is Juris launching that pass out wide. Glenn Cross winds and fires a sizzler that was blocked by Green.
Thank God he's wearing those new skates. Remember, he always wore those white ones. Now he's changed to a different pair of skates. Probably a little more protection for Mike Green.
And the tongues of those skates are tucked in. He used to always have them out. Orpik to turn. Brooks Orpik, now in his 14th season as a pro. Remember the last time these two matched up, Orpik had 10 hits in the game. He was a sledgehammer against the Flames in a 3-1 win for Washington. 3-2 tonight with 13 to go. Goudreau will send it in. Braden Holtby ignites the breakout. Backstrom to Ovechkin. Just a bit strong for Wilson to get back into that conversation. Remember Mike Knuble working with Backstrom and OV?
Loved him. He did a lot of the dirty work.
Would Wilson be a similar type player as he matures?
Absolutely. I really think he can be that, but I think he's going to bring, you know, Mike was great in the trenches. You know, he always won battles, but I think he adds another element. Is that you can't fool around with Backy and OV when he's on the ice. He's got a little different demeanor than Mike Knuble had. Knuble was a big body, played tough and physical, but didn't have that little extra dimension that number 43 brings.
Two teams been at each other's noses, playing 2 times in 2 weeks. You know Liam O'Brien is going to be there. You know the hits are coming on Comcast Sportsnet. Tonight's game summary brought to you by Night Point Systems. They offer the technology you need when you need it. Alex Ovechkin has set a capital record tonight.
And their captain responded with his 4th goal of the season. That's Mark Giordano. And the go-ahead marker, Marcus Johansson, he's got his 5th goal of the season. Joel Ward giving the Caps a lead on the 5-on-3 power play.
We play 5-on-5 for the moment now, just about 8 minutes into this third period. Latta working with O'Brien. Beagle on a backhand that was stopped. There was a whistle ahead of the play. We mentioned Alex Ovechkin setting a record tonight. He has passed Peter Bondra on the all-time point-scoring list. And Bonsai, it's great to see you. Tell me in what ways that Alex Ovechkin is a different player than Peter Bondra.
He's a much different player, trust me. He's a face of National Hockey League and, you know, face of this franchise, and he really made the damage already. He changed his franchise to become almost Hockey Town, and I hope we'll be Hockey Town sooner or later. But, you know, I'm a fan, and from day one when Albie come here, I mean, it was obvious. It's going to take only a couple months to do all this damage, but I'm happy for him. Congratulations.
But it's bittersweet, right, Bonza? You're still up there. I'm looking at the list. You're still first in goals. You're still first in game winners. You're still the man around town.
Yeah, for a couple more months, but hey, let's go. But Joe, thanks for reading nice words, saying nice words the last game about me. I know Locker, you just read the stats, but Joe was actually nice to me.
Peter, it's easy to say good things about you. Peter Bondra joining us on the night when Alex Ovechkin has passed him on the all-time point-scoring list.
And I called you graceful in the open tonight.
Yes, you did.
Graceful,
Oh, thank you.
speedy, all that stuff.
Well, thank you. I'm hoping the Caps win tonight, and if they do, I will go say hi to Alex in the person and congratulate him. If they don't, I probably postpone it because it's just, I feel like a little tension. They need to win some more games.
Well, that's what they were saying this morning as we look at the list now of all-time point-scoring
Pretty
leaders
cool
in
list.
Washington.
That would make a good fivesome, wouldn't it, Bonzai?
Where are you, Locker? Where are you?
Oh, I'm way at the bottom,
Okay.
Bonzai.
Who's going to play D on that list?
I think we'll put
All
it.
of you. Well, Alex and Nicholas, all their teammates this morning were talking about the 2 points
That's
for the
correct.
win, more important than any individual accomplishment tonight. 11 more minutes to dig in against these Calgary Flames. Giordano finds Jones towards the goal and gloved by Braden Holtby. Peter, Locker mentions you still have the goal-scoring record. what's the mindset, what's the mentality of a goal scorer that you share with Alex Ovechkin?
Well, if I was to always choose for tonight, like you said, 2 points. There's nothing bigger than that. I mean, that's what they have to do, and they have to break that, get on the winning points. But mentality and for goal scorers, shoot the puck. If you don't shoot, you don't score.
Ovechkin, a man who's led the league in shots so many times, and goals as a result. Calgary in the offensive end, even in full strength. This one's floated over the head of Holtby, out of play. Face-off to come and stay inside the Washington zone.
Now, you do have one trait that's very similar to Alex. You both had and have a wicked one-timer. Is that something you see similarities in OV's shot and your shot?
From different spot, yeah. I was on the right side, yeah.
Spot.
But the key to this, it's a quarterback. It's like in this case, Mike Green, or my case was Sergei Gonchar. If you fake the shot and pass to the side, it makes the goalie to play honest, and that's a shot come, and it's quick, and it's in the net.
You just read my mind, too, because I wanted you to compare and contrast Backstrom, Pavanka, Green, Gonchar.
That's correct, yeah. You have to have a setup, man, and hey, all those guys are good, great players, and I benefit, and Alex benefit from it.
As Ovechkin maneuvers back through center, nearing the midway mark of this third period. Puck was played with a high stick. The faceoff should stay.
We're getting lots of
in the
time
Calgary
to talk
zone.
with Bonds.
This is perfect. Yes.
What about having Wilson up in that line? How does that change the dynamics with Backstrom and Ovechkin?
He's a hard-working guy. He will go to the corner first. He will dig the puck and just leave the puck for hopefully for Nicky, and that's will set up Alex, and that's what the key. And you need to have certain chemistry on the line, and everybody has to do a job.
3-2 for Washington tonight. Peter, we saw you in the owner's box. What were the sentiments that Ted Leonsis had that he shared with you as Ovechkin went by you?
Well, we look back. He mentioned the contract with I last signed with the Capitals, and Ted is a great owner. I'm really fortunate, happy to be part of his organization, and I just want to only thank you. And it was fun to watch the game with him, talk over, just revisit all the old times. But it was a great night. I just like I said, you need to win a game.
Caps working here, offensive zone. Green settles. And he'll choose Orpik.
Yeah, and the stickless forward there. He finally picked up one, but Weidman does not have his twig.
Chimera leaks below the goal line, flushed out by Russell. Green settles. Chimera between the skates for Burakovsky. Byron will interrupt. Russell is there to help as you look at the skirmish behind the cage. Green to a better shooting lane. Feeds it out wide. The Karam winds up on a Calgary stick. Byron run to the boards by Chimera, and the Flames finally do get it out. They can get a little bit of a breather.
Good battle there. Okay, Bonds, I'm putting on the spot.
Well, good
speed.
Yes, speed and control the puck. We control it most of the time in their zone, and that's good. Good things going to happen.
Who's faster, you or Ovechkin?
I don't know. That's a
Peter,
good one.
thank you so much for joining us.
Hey,
it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure to watch you as a player. Wonderful for the fans to salute you. Peter Bondra in attendance tonight on a record-breaking night. This evening, even in super slow-mo, this game is tough.
Yeah, Boomer misses a hit. He takes a heavy tumble early on. Glenn Cross gets a piece of Niskanen, beats on the wall. Nice work. See Wilson upset by Giordano behind the net. A good battle. What a great fight. Englund and our boy Liam O'Brien. Juris a good hit on Backy. 41 hits in this hockey game, so it's just about 20 apiece. Calgary has one extra one. It's going to go down to the wire here in Washington.
Barry Trotz says of Calgary, they have coordinated pressure all over the ice. They really trust their game, and that's why it looks like they play so quickly. They are a fast team.
There you see Trotzi's numbers, 5.32 in the win percentage, closing in on 600 wins, just 39 away for Barry Trotz.
Capitals in Chicago Friday. We'll have that one for you. Calgary goes to Tampa Bay for a Thursday night tilt at Amalie Arena.
By the way, I think Bonzai could still play.
Yeah. Fun to watch him when he gets out there in those alumni settings.
Can he ever fly still?
The best of the best skaters just never really lose it, do they?
You got it. Never do.
On the McDonald's trivia question, this is a toughie. 2 defensemen in NHL history. Only 2 led their team in goals for a season. Can you name them?
See, I was thinking Orr and Surrey.
Surrey is, I think, a winner. Kevin Hatcher here in Washington. Not in his biggest goal-scoring year. Very tough. I was hoping you were going to come up with Tricky Dick Tarnstrom from Pittsburgh. Russell with a blast that was blocked. Tarnstrom led the Penguins, I want to say 03-04 in points, and was rather unlikely candidate, but that was when Pittsburgh was down in the dumps somewhat. 8:27 to go regulation time as the Capitals are trying to clamp onto this 1-goal lead. Beagle will play it on back for Niskanen. Very involved offensively in the first couple periods, was number 2 in the red. Jonas Hiller shovels it on around. Brody right up the gut for Setaguchi. One-on-one against Orpik. Help comes from Carlson. Beagle for Washington. 5-on-5 play. Caps a power play goal. 2-man advantage tally from Joel Ward. So the Washington with power play strikes in 6 of its last 7. Brody wheels in towards the goal. Knocked aside by Braden Holtby. Latta draws it loose. Ooh. Rough collision there on the boards. John Carlson has some time and some space, and he'll get it out. Brody with his head up looking to create. Giordano's next. Out wide on the fly, Granlund. Marcus punished along the boards there by Green. Keeps his feet moving, however. Russell shimmies around a pick. Goudreau didn't get that one off the boards clean. Washington will get out with Ovechkin and dump down. 7 minutes to play in this one as the Capitals are trying to suffocate the life out of Calgary. This is not an icing call. Green on the advance. Backstrom has some running room. Leaves for Ovechkin. Fires a kick-out save for Hiller. Nicholas tries to carry that one to the front. Wilson was there. As the goalie covers, we've seen another quarrel erupt in front.
Yeah, that's 43 again. We've talked so much about Wilson, but it's OV's night. But when he's on the ice, anything happens around Ovechkin or Backstrom, and he's just pawing guys. Hacking them, face washing, pushing, shoving. They can talk all they want to OV. But number 43, make sure he's got their back. He's very physical and tough, and he's got a good net presence here tonight.
Capitals on their way to Chicago for a Friday night tilt, and we will have it for you.
Yeah, Chicago playing Montreal tonight, up 2-0. Taves and Kane put together, and Taves got his 200th career goal. Should have a beautiful game that night. I love going to the Windy City. We don't get to go there enough. We'll be on the Plus on Friday night, kicking off at 8:30 p.m.
Marcus Kruger has the other goal for Chicago. Capitals have dominated on faceoffs here in the third period. Announcer whammy. Capitals have won 13 of 18 now in this frame. Beagle had to wait there to stay on side, or at least for his teammate to get back on side. Hudler getting fancy with Latta. He says, no, you don't. Michael will dump it in. Brody has to resurface. 6:20 to play, regulation time. Capitals out shooting the Flames 30-19. Glenn Cross on the move. That one, Karams. Ooh, Holtby stayed with that. That was a radical deflection.
Yeah, Glenn Cross was going for a pass, and it turned out to be a testing shot as it ricocheted off a skate boot. Real good stop. Here comes Glenn Cross. He's going rink wide, and there it is, right off the skate of the center drive man, Monahan. And that's one of the toughest saves of the night, I think, for Braden. He had to hold down the fort there, Joe, as he's going to the butterfly and makes a dandy with the right pad.
Capitals have outshot the opposition in 9 of 11 games this season. They're doing it again tonight. No room for error now with a 1-goal lead to protect. Washington has trailed on 2 separate occasions tonight. Schmidt jamming along the boards. Ward plays it ahead. He was trying to spring Chimera. No sail. Dennis Wideman leisurely through center. For Russell. Carving in. Double team there from Ward and Carlson. Jones throwing his weight around. 4 in the scrum. As Ward protects the puck. A log jam in that corner. John Carlson wins it and plays it to safety. 5:25 left in this third period. The Caps looking to snap a 4-game losing skid.
And those are the type of things that we saw to the right of Holtby that you have to do to win. Some good wall work, some battles, some bodies. That takes it out
Oh,
of...
my goodness. Well, we have seen some strange bounces tonight. None crueler than that.
And you see Holtby give Marcus a little whack there, saying, it's all right, buddy, unlucky. Everything seemed to be going just fine with 5:10 to go, and there's the luck. It actually hit the crossbar too, and then bounced back down and goes in. Here's the play on Green. Granlund heavy forecheck. He throws it in front, and watch it hit Marcus, then hit off the foot of Brouwer, and then I think it goes right past the catching glove. Just a surprising play, but it all starts in the forecheck. The shot in front. There it comes to Marcus, who's throwing it to the corner, who hits Brouwer, who beats the goalie.
Marcus Granlund tallied in Montreal Sunday. He's got points now in 3 straight games. He has the game-tying goal at 14:50.
That's just not right.
Orpik and his mates bouncing back again into the offensive zone. Johansson, who is the beneficiary of a kind bounce in the second period. Monahan, very good shooting young hockey player. 23 in there on the forecheck. Orpik keeps it to the outside. Brouwer offered it ahead, just out of the reach of Johansson. Hoodler's in, working back. Backhander sent wide by Glenn Cross.
Capitals got caught in a little bit of line change coming through the neutral zone. Didn't get it in deep, went for the line change, and just about got burnt in transition there.
3-3 game just past the bottom of the hour. NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Niskanen pass. Backstrom walks in, fires. He sent that one high.
Had to go high, had to get it over the sprawling defenseman first, and that elevated that puck too high.
Niskanen with a slap pass down low. Good stick from Brody. Brody turns it on for Juris. He'll send it out wide. Byron swivels away from the pressure. Ovechkin back checking in good shape. Nicklas Backstrom in his career against Jonas Hiller now has 5 goals in 6 games. A pig pile in front of the Calgary bench. Boma and Ovechkin are separated. 3.5 left in this one. A crazy carom. An unassisted goal for Granlund at 14:50, and we are new at 3. Liam O'Brien slugs it in on one big skip wide of Jonas Hiller. Giordano sends it out to the flank. Setaguchi handles that through center. Brody steers it along. Granlund on the drop. Setaguchi fires. Blocked away by Brooks Orpik. We will get you back for the conclusion of regulation time. Holtby and the Caps now in a 3-3 draw.
.309 left to go in the third period. A 3-all hockey game. When this is over, we'll have Capitals postgame live. Al Koken and Ellen May here at Verizon. We'll obviously talk a lot about Alex Ovechkin. I want to ask you about that fluke. Is it easier to forget than a mistake on your own?
Well, you have to. You've got to make sure that you do everything going forward. You've got to get this game to overtime. You can't dwell on your mistakes. So it's about getting the game to the extra frame right now.
All right, boys, we will have it for you after this one. Let's see if it ends in 309. What do you think?
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it ending in Washington's favor in less than 309. Capitals post-game live presented by your DC area Accurate dealers. To follow, Capitals with goals tonight from Backstrom, Johansson and Ward, Boma, Giordano, and Granlund for the visiting Flames. Nicklas Backstrom from skate to stick finds the open Chimera. Backstrom feathers down low for Ward. 2.5 to go. Joel Ward using the boards for Orpik. Long wrister on the way, cuffed down in front.
Little double shift for Nick Backstrom here, playing with other lines. Game's on the line, you're going to play your gunners.
Chimera on a saucer pass off the outside of the post as Carlson activated in. Hiller went to the splits. Chimera from the sharp angle hit the referee. Throughout the night, Chimera and Ward have been centered for the most part by the youngster Andre Burakovsky. Backstrom joined them there and created some havoc. Less than 2 to go. Think Calgary wants to get to overtime?
I think so.
Weidman on a clear ahead on through. It'll go wide of Holtby. Niskanen is there. Caps have possession. Kuznetsov did not get that one on his blade.
Yeah, you sort of want to play like that when you're on the road. You know, you want to take sort of the fans out of it. You want to sit back and play very patient, and hopefully that the home team gets antsy and that they're the ones that give you the extra chance.
Setoguchi back. Giordano, wrister on the way, knocked down. It was high on Alsner. With 1:20 to go. Brouwer has goals in 3 straight games. Troy Brouwer banned on his pass. Captured by Calgary, sent in by Giordano. Line change for head coach Hartley. Ditto for Barry Trotz. Backstrom through center. Granlund stepping into his skating path. Ovechkin buzzing after Russell. Final minute of regulation time. Juris through center. Ooh, that came up and hit Orpik. 50 seconds to go. Wilson was undercut there. Tom Wilson did not like it. Closing in, a wrist shot from Granlund that was blocked. Ovechkin sends it around the turnstile, not clear. Russell towards a goal and wide with a lot of commotion in front of Holtby. Calgary in an offensive posture. Weidman towards the net off of Carlson. Monahan there with 23 ticks remaining. Glencross taps it down low for Hudler. Hudler to the point. Weidman winds, fakes the blast. Weidman can't get it through Ovechkin. Dennis Weidman, wrist shot on the way. Ovechkin with a block. Chips it by him. Alex Ovechkin with enough gas to go 2-on-2. Poke check by Weidman. Joining the late guy, it's Backstrom. Down low. Oh, incredible stop. Hiller Rob Wilson practically at the buzzer.
Unreal, but it all starts with a great effort by Alex Ovechkin. It's all about defense first. Defense leads to offense. Hiller getting high fives from his buddies on the bench. The Caps a wonderful play. Backstrom, Wilson, right toe by the goaltender.
Jeez Louise, what a stop by Hiller.
And he got everything, didn't he?
Oh, that would have counted too. It would have beat the green light. Oh, that's sensation. Hockey's a beautiful game, end to end to end. Wilson's can't believe it. We're going to overtime. 3-3 in the district on Comcast Sportsnet. 50 minutes of play tonight, not enough. Calgary and Washington, they'll go to overtime. Each team has earned a point in the standings. We'll play 4-on-4. Joe Beninati, Craig Laughlin, Al Koken with you as we get to the Geico highlights. 6 goals on the board. Calgary opens the scoring. It's Lance Boma. Look what I found in front.
And then just over about a minute and a half later, it was Backstrom, Ovechkin, and Wilson hooking up. And it's Backstrom getting the goal, but it's a big goal individually for the grade 8. He's in the record books. Point number 826 to pass that great guy, Peter Bondra, in franchise history.
Scouting report says watch out for Mark Giordano. I said watch out for Mark Giordano, especially on the backhand. Zip. It's 2-1 Calgary.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than it is good, and that works out nicely for Marcus. Rips one off the defenseman, off the back wall, and off the pad of Hiller. Gotta love it.
So you want more friendly bounces? How about Joe Ward? This time on a 5-on-3 power play. Nicholas finds him. Ward sends it to the goal. Bing, 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 and in the back of the net.
And it's usually at the end of a game or during a game, bounces even out. Well, here's Granlund with the bounce and equals it out. Off the stick of Mojo, who's trying to throw it to the corner, off of the skate boot of Brouwer, and it's in the net.
And then this at the end, Hiller, fabulous, to rob Tom Wilson. Look at the time. It would have counted, and it would have been a dramatic victory for Washington. Instead, off we go to the 4-on-4 OT. So far in the NHL, as the fans salute the extra time, so far 45 games past the regulation, 25 have gone to the shootout, 20 have been decided in OT as the Capitals try to snap out of their 4-game losing skid.
And this is something that Calgary's used to. Remember last year with the Calgary Flames, you know, they didn't make the playoffs, but they had 49 one-goal games. They're used to this. The Caps have to push the pace 4-on-4, utilize their talent and speed to get the W here tonight, starting with the captain.
Alex Ovechkin and the Caps missed the playoffs as well. Calgary has missed the postseason now in 5 straight years. We are a long way away from the Stanley Cup playoff party, but we're into overtime with the NHL on Comcast Sportsnet. Nicklas Backstrom surveys at the offensive blue line. Ovechkin holds so many records, one of which, most OT game winners. He's out there looking to end it on the night when he's become Washington's all-time point-scoring leader. Caps postgame live presented by your DC area Acura dealers will follow. Granlund snapshot, kick out save. Holtby was a good one. Marcus Granlund, who tied it in regulation time at the 14:50 mark of the third. Green floats for Backstrom. Nicklas on the hesitation. Giordano corrals him. Ovechkin turns the corner, watched by Granlund. On top it comes. Alzner got his signals crossed there with the grade 8. Alzner pinching in. Giordano to the rescue as the Capitals will change. Back through center come the Flames. Gaudreau drops it off to Giordano. Looping through the neutral zone, it's Byron. Gaudreau, so elusive, covered up there by Niskanen. This is 2-on-2 the other way. Full speed ahead. Snapshot stopped by Hiller. He made the blocker save on Johansson.
That's what they're hoping for in overtime with the long change. It just about worked out nicely for the Caps. Calgary with a bad line change leading to that chance.
Johansson for Kuznetsov. Marcus giving it to Yevgeny. Yevgeny straightened up and double teamed in the corner. Byron will take it and bang it off the boards. Gaudreau through center. Joining the rush, it's Russell. Almost 2 minutes into overtime. Juris settles. Glenn Cross, muscled there by Alzner. Juris' centering pass rejected by Kuznetsov. Marcus Johansson working ahead. Hooks off there at the attacking line. Fresh troops coming on over the boards for Washington. Nearing the midway mark of OT. Burakovsky, fleet of foot. Andre Burakovsky throwing snow with Brody. Play it on top for Schmidt. Switch it up to Carlson. 4-on-4 hockey in overtime. Burakovsky to the front, deflection try just over top. Carlson is so sneaky coming in from the point.
Learned a lot of that, I'm sure, from watching Mike Green over the years.
Brouwer swings. 2:12 to operate. Low angle look at Burakovsky jetting into the offensive zone. Andre Burakovsky protecting the biscuit. Lost the handle there. Flames in possession with Russell. 2 minutes to go. Russell steps on the pedal, works back through center. Nothing there. Schmidt wouldn't allow Weidman through. John Carlson with soft touch on for the good skating Schmidt. Schmidt to the front, jamming there. Ward had the opportunity. Didn't get a lot of mustard on it. 3-on-3 the other way. Granlund, he can fly.
He makes the play at one end, Joe, and has the wherewithal to hot-foot it all the way back to defend. Wonderful by 88.
Green glides into the front, deflection try, and Hiller with a save on Ward.
It should be over with Wardlow's last 2 chances. He can't believe it. The difference maker is that guy, Hiller. The Caps are pushing the pace. The Caps are going for the W. How about Schmidt? One end he creates offense, and look at him wind it up coming back. And Granlund's quick. And here he gets back. He causes a turnover and now leads to the rush the other way. Mike Green, Carlson and company jumping in. That puck didn't even get to Wardo, but it's still a good play, throwing it to the net as Brody extends his stick and actually deflects it into his own goaltender.
Get Nate some oxygen. He'll catch his breath. Ovechkin, Backstrom, Green, Niskanen, 4 on ice. Washington doubling up Calgary when it comes to scoring chances in this contest.
And the speed of Schmitty, Joe, is because he was crossing over. He got going, crossing over around the net. Excellent skater.
Green forced to the outside by Monahan. Forced a centering pass there. Brody the other way. 3-on-3 with Giordano. Those two defenders are not afraid to get up into the play, are they? Deflection try Brody, wide of the net. Alex Ovechkin with momentum through center. Ovechkin fanned on the snapshot. Niskanen wipes out. Monahan goes one-on-one with Green. Sean Monahan closing on the delay. Hits the trailer. Juris to the front for Monahan. He scores. Beautiful passing on the game winner for Calgary.
Well, Nick Backstrom back-checked, and it was perfect. He caught up to the guy to make it 2-on-2. Then it's the weave and the drop pass that causes a whole lot of problems to defend against with the speed. And the Capitals' Braden Holtby couldn't do much on that passing play. Here they come. Look at Nicky in the middle there. He's got his guy. Now it's the drop pass. Watch the drop pass right here, and it's this move here that opens up everything, and that pass gets through with Brody tying up Backstrom in front the D. And the young centerman, Monahan, wins it for the road team, the Calgary Flames, as he finishes off that passing play. 4-on-4 here in overtime.
Monahan's first 3 goals of the season all came at Saddle Dome. This one on the road makes a winner of the white-jerseyed Flames in OT. 4-3, time of the tally, 4:17. This evening's Caps player of the game, sponsored by the Palm Restaurant, Alex Ovechkin.
Yeah, it's his night. You know, I called him at the top of the show, Mr. Franchise. A very strong performance, trying to lead his team to victory, and is in the record books here in Washington, but the Capitals fall here tonight.
Comcast Sportsnet coverage of Capitals hockey has been brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. Toyota, check out the bold new 2015 Camry and visit buyatoyota.com for offers. Lattices, all systems grow. Sport Automotive, Chevrolet and Honda. Carl Alsner's a sport fan. Be one too. Visit sportautomotive.com. And by Legal Seafoods. If it isn't fresh, it isn't legal. Visit LegalSeafoods.com. As the fans file to the exits inside of Horizon Center, Calgary, a 4-3 win in overtime. A seesaw game between these cross-conference rivals, with the Flames winning in the extra session. For Craig, for Al, for Alan, Joe Beninati thanking all the men and women in our crew. Our next telecast Friday evening, 8:30 Eastern, CSN Plus, folks. It's the Caps and the Blackhawks. Straight ahead next, Capitals postgame live, Al Koken and Alan May. A bittersweet Tuesday night in Washington. Alex Ovechkin in the record books again, but the OT setback, authored by Sean Monahan and the Calgary Flames.